friends and neighbors. How's it going? It's a Monday. It's the 21st of September for 2020. I'm Dan Gresham. This is my house. I'm glad to be in your house this morning for our at-home update. And you know what the old saying, you know the expression, right, about rainy days and Mondays? Do you know the song, Rainy Days and Mondays Get Me Down? Today's one of those days. Today's one of those days. I don't know what it is, but I think it's because normally I could go open the window today. Normally the sun's pouring in. I have to try to block it out. I'm telling you, I could put my head down. Remember in school, I could put my head down right here on my desk and go to sleep. No problems. And what it's about, I think it's just the fact that it's Monday, back to work, back into the schedule. And it's rainy. And it's rainy for a purpose, right? We're talking about everybody, I don't know what the phrase is. I was going to say everybody kind of has themselves all twisted up over Tropical Storm Beta, but I'm not sure that it's something that we necessarily have to get real concerned about. Sorry about that. I hit the wrong button. I need to go take a nap. Let's go and jump right into it and talk a little bit about Tropical Storm Beta. And again, I never pretend to be a meteorologist, just a guy who sits beside them and has for more than 4 decades and watches what they say and pays close attention to what they're saying, what they're talking about. So let's jump over to KFDM.com. Again, I encourage you to go there when you have questions about what's happening locally. You can find it at KFDM.com. And of course, we are tracking tropical storm, and that's what it is. These things always seem to happen on the weekend when you're least attuned to what's really going on. I don't know about you, but you just kind of like, yeah, every once in a while I'll glance at something, And this weekend it was like, wait a minute. Because I was out of town over the weekend. I went to see my parents. So I was gone like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But now on Friday, I'm kind of like, I'm not even paying attention to this thing that's going on down in the Gulf of Mexico. I'm just not. I'm thinking, this thing looks like it's going to track into South Texas, into Mexico. And then on Saturday, all of a sudden, all the talk is Tropical Storm Beta, Hurricane Beta, potentially drenching the Gulf. I'm like, what? Where does this come from? So then you start paying attention and you get all these mixed messages if you're not going to the right place, looking for the right information. But this thing has been kind of weird. It's meandered all over the Gulf, hasn't gone anywhere very quickly. And now here it is. And you see the current location is where I've got my arrow right now. And then you see the projected path coming inland just north of Corpus. But then this is where it kind of gets weird, because instead of, just continuing on to the north or to the northwest, instead it just follows the Gulf Coast, goes right up the coast. And because of that, we can probably expect some rain. But if you will go and get the latest information, you'll realize this is not anything to get terribly excited about. Problem being, we've heard that before, right? Because Imelda, it was one of those things we were all like, it's not that big of a deal. You might get some rain. And the next thing you know, we don't get some rain, right? We get 30 plus inches of rain. Not thinking this is going to be one of those kind of events, but I'm just saying that's why we're gun shy. And add Harvey into the mix, same thing, comes inshore. But there are a lot of different elements about this that makes it different from those storms. And the expectations are much different for this than they would be for the other storms. But it doesn't mean we won't see some rain. The question becomes how much rain. And listening to Greg, listening to Dana, listening to Chad, their consensus seems to be that we're talking probably, I don't know, maybe 5 inches of rain, cumulative from today all the way through Wednesday. Other places, maybe 10 inches. But if you've lived in Southeast Texas for any period of time at all, 10 inches is nothing. I mean, 10 inches in many parts of the country would put people underwater. 10 inches here, yeah. I mean, you're going to have some standing water. You might have some street flooding. But the reality is it's not a major issue. Most of these drainage districts can handle. They'll tell you, we can handle 10 inches of rain. And that's not a problem. Now, if that 10 inches comes in one day, then it could create some problems. But that's not the expectation on this. But all you can really do is watch. That's all you can really do. I mean, we'll watch this one, see what happens. But I think it's fair to say today, you should expect some showers. I was talking with Dana this morning on the show, on the television show. I was saying, what happened to words we used to use when we were kids? People would say, oh, there's a squall coming. If you use the word squall today, I'm not sure people would know what you were talking about. But if you look it up, go look it up. First of all, you'd have to figure out how to spell it, right? But if you look up squall, you're going to find this is not, people are going, squaw like the Indian maiden squaw? No. Squall, as in a type of rain, a form of rain. They would say there are going to be squalls associated with this storm coming through. It's just a word, a verbiage that people don't use anymore. There's nothing wrong with it, but we just don't use it. But that's what we're going to see. And I also want to remind you that you can go over to, and I went to the wrong page, over to KFDM, the Facebook page where you're at already. And if you go through, you will see lots of developments, lots of updates on what's happening with Tropical Storm Beta. Plus, of course, don't forget, we also have apps that you can use as well. There's another update on the map right there, the latest forecast track for Tropical Storm Beta. And there's no expectation at this point of this ever becoming anything other than a tropical storm. So if you're kind of paranoid about things, I think it's understandable with the year that we've had. And there's radar if you want to go look at that. And the reminder too, when you go to KFDM.com, if you want to see radar, if things start happening, you're like, man, I wonder where that's going. Look, if you go to weather, and if you click on weather, it'll take you to the weather page. And if you go on down, you can access Doppler radar at your home. And not only can you access it, what's cool about this particular Doppler radar to me is the fact that you can manipulate it. You, as in you sitting at home. This is not something that the meteorologist is doing at Channel 6. This is something you can do just like I'm doing now. You go in, you depress, and it moves. All right. So you're literally, how you grab things. That's what you're doing. You're grabbing this image and you're moving it. Not only can you move it, you can zoom out, you can zoom in. So to me, the beauty of this is I can bring it down to where I can really see what's going on. All right. Off to the east, south of Jennings, and down towards the coast. That's some pretty heavy rain going on. And, you have to ask yourself, well, what direction is that moving? Is that something I'm going to have to be concerned about? Well, how do I find out if it's something I have to be concerned about? Well, you can actually go to the bottom of the page. Let me see if I can get it to work for you now that I've opened my mouth here and said it was possible. At the bottom of the page, and it's not letting me grab it right now, but if you go to the bottom, there is an arrow, and if you put that arrow, if you depress that arrow, it will put it into a slideshow. And from that slideshow, you'll actually be able to see what direction everything is moving. So, zoom it out, take it all the way down. You can almost go down to street level with this thing. Look, that's Beaumont, but I can zoom it out. And again, just kind of gives you a good idea what's coming. You know that's over there. And the darker the color, the red, the more intense the rainfall. So again, Doppler radar at your fingertips just by going to KFDM.com, which, think about that. 15 years ago, that was impossible. You couldn't do that. So I don't know. To me, I would think it would give you some comfort. Not, it's not like you're going to be able to, necessarily figure out all the isobars and the pressure and but if you can look at a radar and you can go, oh, rain moving, then it kind of gives you an idea that it's going to be lasting. It's not going to be here long. It's just passing through, or it's something I'm going to have to worry about. So that will definitely be our story of the day. I want to remind you that you're always welcome. I love it, in fact, when you will post up here on our update. Now, if you just want to say good morning, or if you want to say buenos dias, you can do that as well, as we have already seen this morning from Millum. Thank you for that. Joanne is up with us this morning. Hi, Kim. Hi, Shirley. Janice is here this morning as well. Oh, I said Janice. Jamaica. Sorry about that. My glasses are right over there. Ashley Laverne, good morning to you. Is it Janine? She's watching in Rockwall. You can let us know where you're watching from this morning. Always assume, I do, when I see somebody like Delina Brooks who says she's watching from San Antonio, that it's probably somebody that has some kind of connection to Southeast Texas. And, they're checking in this morning, see how the family's doing, how we're faring this morning, which I get that. I really do. Paul, good morning to you as well. Lisa Brown is up with us morning. D'Angela is joining us this morning. Hi, Becky Millsap. Rebecca is here this morning as well. David Peru, good morning over there in Devers as well. While Gina's Kina is watching in Sour Lake. Maybe I should put my glasses on this morning, but hey. Also, Dee Dee says, good morning from the top of my roof, finishing repairs from our practice drill a few weeks ago. Yeah, and I hope that's all that this is a drill. I really do. Barbara, good morning to you over in Bevel Oaks. Hope you're having a nice morning so far. Marlene from FM 421 between Lumberton and Sour Lakes. Loretta's over in Port Neches. Again, everybody up watching this morning. Marie up at Lake Sam Rayburn. You guys got some pretty good rain this morning. Not everybody has seen that. I was going in this morning and it was like, wow, this is intense. And then by the time I get to work, there's nothing there. So if you're up in the lakes, you got some pretty good rain up there. But not everybody has gotten that this morning. We've seen everywhere from a half an inch to 3/4 of an inch in those places that really got hit pretty hard earlier this morning. And again, if I don't read your name on the air, don't worry. I read every one of them as the day goes on. I just don't necessarily have time to see every one of them this morning while we are sitting here. Rena, good morning to you in Fresno, Texas, which I'm not really sure where that is. Don Johnson says, let's hear about the floodgates on 365. I'll tell you, Don, I haven't heard anything about the floodgates on 365. And I would assume, unless we're going to get some copious amounts of rain, which they're not really talking about right now, that there may not be a need to close those gates. But, I'll let you know if we hear something. And, of course, keep an eye on KFDM.com as well. David's with us this morning. He says, Nina says howdy. Howdy, Nina. Good to have you with us this morning. Also, Heidi Chatham says, good morning from northern Colorado. I watch you because I own a home in Port Acres as well. Well, Heidi, I bet the temps are a little bit nicer in northern Colorado, although it's not too bad in Beaumont this morning, honestly, or in Southeast Texas in general. I was up in Longview this weekend, as I mentioned. I went and saw my parents. And that one day it was 59 degrees. I was like, wow, get a jacket. Didn't need a jacket, but a long sleeve shirt does feel nice. Also, don't forget, drop us a like if you don't mind. Just, the circle with a thumbs up. Let us know you were here and you were watching. And just some of those things that we can pass along and go, look, to the bosses. Look, there really are people who watch Dan's at-home update from time to time. All right, let's jump over and tackle a couple other things going on this morning. Again, Doppler radar, don't forget, it's your best friend as we go through this. A couple of things I wanted to show you. Our coronavirus cases and hospitalizations continue to decline here in the state of Texas. They are not gone by any means, but they are certainly significantly less they were during July's record highs. So you can see we've got 3,081 Texans in the hospital for coronavirus, 2,241 new cases reported. And of course, the saddest statistic of all is we've had close to 15,000 people die in the state of Texas. We've had 703 in the last week in the state of Texas. All right. I want to come back and talk real quick about one more item concerning the tropical weather that's coming our way. Here's part of the problem. Here's where we get into issues. Here's where we get sideways with what's happening, because when you don't depend on local news and you start watching national news or syndicated news or whatever it might be, and you read headlines like this: tropical storm, let me show you what it says. Tropical storm Beta forecast to make a landfall Monday in hurricane-weary Gulf Coast. And then you come down and you read the Hurricane Center advisory of 15 inches of rain could fall in some areas. That's down from earlier predictions of up to 20 inches. And that may be true. There may be 15 inches of rain that's going to fall where this comes ashore, right? And I'm talking about north of Corpus Christi. But that's not the prediction that's being made for the upper Texas coast. We're talking in some places 1.5 to 2 inches. So when you read this in a national story and it says 15 inches, because that's, again, it's what's coming from the Hurricane Center, but it's not specific. And that's where you get into trouble. And then you also read maximum sustained winds, 50 miles an hour. We are not going to have 50 mile an hour winds likely here. And I do use the word likely because there's always that possibility between here and there something changes. But at this point, it seems very unlikely that we would have 50 mile an hour winds. So I don't know about you. I'm not going to run out and pick up all of the patio furniture. Not this time. I'm just going to wait and see what happens. And if I need to run, I did put the umbrellas down because I didn't know how high the winds were going to blow. Just trying to be safe on my part. Robin Mann says hi from Weymouth along the south coast of England. Seriously, Robin? You're watching on the others? What is that, 6-hour time difference or something in England? Isn't that right? Hey. I appreciate your watching. I don't know what your interest would be. I don't know if you're like a hurricane tracker. You know, you like to follow severe weather and you wanted to see what was happening. I do that. You know, for example, when the storm Sally was coming in, I was looking to see what was happening in, Pensacola. I was looking to see what was happening Gulf Shores. So I would go to their television stations and watch their weather. That's the world we live in now. You don't have to wait. In the old days, well, the newspaper will be here tomorrow. We'll know. No, come on. It's instant. We have instant information for sure. All right. Want to remind you, too, we always try to end on something light. We always try to come back to something that's not super heavy. So this morning I went looking for things, and I thought this was kind of an interesting story. If you were to pick a car that you thought were the car that got the most tickets in America, would you probably say something like, oh, Corvette? You can name all the sports cars. That's just the one that comes to mind. But in fact, it's the Subaru WRX. That is the car, according to industry insiders, insurance companies, that says they get the most tickets of any car drivers. Not Ferraris, not Mustangs, the Subaru WRX. Now, I will tell you this, the WRX is a heck of a car. So if you don't know, what it is, don't think, oh, it's my grandpa's car. No, it's not. It is definitely a sports car. It is a car that's got a whole lot of engine. Second is the Volkswagen GTI. Yeah, these are the cars that get the most tickets? Come on. Now that one I believe. Well, because of volume, I would think trucks would have to get pretty high up there as the number of tickets that are given. I don't know. Again, I was just surprised because I fully expected it to be some kind of high-end sports car. But in fact, it was not. It's an affordable sports car from Subaru. All right, that pretty much does it for our time today. I've got to run. I've got things to do. I know you do too. Again, the reminder, always come back to KFDM and KFDM.com where you can get caught up on what's happening. I want to get you back to the home page so you can see the home page. You can go to Google if you want to, but there it is, home page. You can read the other stories as well. And just keep up. That's the key this morning. Keep up. Stay informed. Do it with local media. And who have you trusted, for more than 60 years to give you the straight dope? What's going on? KFDM. There you go. KFDM Facebook page. We will be here all day. We will be updating. And if it warrants, I'll come back here on Facebook and do another Facebook Live. And update what's going on. But at this point, I don't think that's the issue. I think we're going to have some rain. We need to watch it. You might want to get here's another one of those words nobody uses anymore, your galoshes out. Okay, your rubber boots. And watch for those squalls that could be coming in throughout the day. I think it's inevitable. We're going to see some rain. The question is going to be how much rain are we going to see? All right, again, go out and make it a terrific day. Do the best you can. Take care of yourself. Reach out to somebody. Somebody that's concerned. Oh, they're scared. They're sitting at home. This is going to be, call them. Tell them this is what's going on, and this is where you can go to get the information. Facts over fear. I think that's a great slogan that we can probably use in most of our lives. All right, so go out and do that. And remember, there are lots of ways that you can catch up with us. You can follow us on Facebook here on the KFDM Facebook page. You can also follow me on Twitter, Morning TV Dan. And if you want, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is Dan's at Home. We post all of these, meaning all of our updates to our YouTube page as well. All right. So go out and again, make it a terrific day. Look forward to seeing you back here bright and early tomorrow morning. And of course on KFDM TV. The latest advisory on television will be back at noon today with Dana. Then again at 5:36, 9, 10, and we'll start it all over again bright and early tomorrow morning. All right, again, go out and make it a terrific day. We'll talk again soon.